Hi, everyone. Um, let's talk about the most exciting topic in mobile development, coffee. And a bit spoilers, what you're about to learn today. It is how to bootstrap your mobile app with AI, using Firebase AI really fast, how to implement actual agent loop inside your mobile app, and what are functions, aka tools, in Firebase AI, and the most importantly, how not to go bankrupt and save as many tokens as possible. I have a couple of questions for you. How many of you into mobile development, like any kind, Android, iOS, Flutter? Yeah, I see a few guys. Cool. And how many of you who tried ever add AI in your mobile app? Did you ever? Yeah, I have one. I have one guy. Okay, cool. For those who already tried, I hope you have. I hope you will have a few new hints or some ideas what you can implement in your app. And for the rest of you, I hope you will be amazed how really fast you can add AI into your mobile app. So, a bit about me. My name is Max Kachinkin, a tech lead at company Dodo Brands, doing Android about 15 years and do a bunch of stuff in the community. And for Dodo Brands, I help building mobile product across 26 countries, which means I think a lot about UI, performance, and apparently coffee. A few numbers about the company behind all of this. Dodo Brands, it is franchise company. We have Dodo Pizza restaurants and coffee chain called The Drink It. And well, actually we have Dodo Pizza in Turkey. So we started in Russia and right now we operate in 26 countries, including Turkey, so you can try out our pizza. My favorite is chicken bomboni. But today we're gonna talk about another app, another project, coffee chain app, Drink It. And let's start our journey with Act 1, Coffee Chaos. And as I say, every good architectural story starts with the pain. Ours starts with a menu. This is our app, Drink It app, beautiful UI, lots of animation, videos and stuff, but it's not just a fancy app, it's like our actual main ordering flow for us because we call ourselves mobile first coffee chain. And the one thing really important is customization. We have really rich customization and people love tweaking drinks. It's fun, it's personal, and well, we encouraged it. And you can start with the simple cappuccino and end up with the 12 modifier monstrosity caffeine if you prefer. But here's the catch. Each layer of customization adds complexity. More screens, more decisions, more options. The thing that should help business actually add friction. And moreover, we have, for each product, we have like about 10 slots of customization. Each has from 4 to 5 variants for ingredients. And although our menu is not that big, about 60 plus drinks and food, if we multiply all these numbers and see in all possible realities, we end up with about 34 million combination. It literally means we offer about 34 million flavors in our app. It's good for business, it's good for creativity, but it's absolutely overwhelming for us to put it in a couple of screens. So we had a problem, and we had a hope. We had a hope. It is called AI. Well, because we live in 2025, of course, our solution is AI. And not only because of this, but also because like usual UI doesn't scale for our problem. And we designed our feature. It looks like pretty straightforward. You press the mic button, say whatever you want, and app gets you like the perfect drink just for you. It could be strict request, it could be like vague based on mood, weather, or something. And at that point, we ask ourselves what AI stack should we choose for this, because for us it is crucial to do it fast, to test this theory fast, and well, time to market is super crucial for us. So we have this kind of types of solution, like from the super complex to the easiest one, like in everything in-house, like all infrastructure, LLMs, then the middle one solution, like the most popular, like hybrid architecture, and as I call it, pure SaaS AI, when you from mobile app goes to the AI directly, not to your backend, and well, it's super easy to start. It's best for prototyping and use in mobile first projects, so it fits our needs. But the important part, you need to count and need to watch your tokens, because well, it will be shipped in stores. You cannot like update it really quickly. These are usual suspects for the job. You know all of them, but our decision was pretty straightforward. We have already Google Enterprise, prices are okay, and actually Google provides this lovely mobile SDK for the Gemini, and it calls Firebase AI Logic. And from this point till the end, I will show all examples in Kotlin Android, but this is all the same for Flutter, all the same for iOS, because Firebase AI Logic has their SDK for each platform. And let's see a few examples of code, how we're gonna use it, like only the mandatory part for our feature. First is like this is the simplest form of using Gemini I've ever seen, like 3 lines of code. You pick the model, you send the prompt, and you get the response. That's it. Suspiciously easy. If only everything in Android was that easy, right? And if you want to like chat mode, you can start a chat mode and send message back and forth. Firebase AI saves the whole history of the message for you. And then you set up the model and should put the response schema. It's very important. The most handy is JSON. You can put arrays, lists, maps, objects, whatever you want. And secret source of Firebase AI, functions, aka tools. The idea is simple. Usually how we work, we call the model and expect the result. In this case, the workflow is the opposite. The model calls us. The model calls our API. So we expose some functions, expose some internal API to the model, and the model decides when and what to call, and when eventually you are in the control, the final decision is up to you of the execution, but this is how it works. And for example, for the Coffee app, we can do breakdown of this functions like get menu, get the order history, get user preferences, likes, dislikes, and so on. And then we just register all of this function in the model, like get drinks, like put the name, description, and we are done. And the tokens, super important part. Tokens, Firebase AI give you like the full breakdown of the all kind of tokens you spend. There are actually 4 types, like input tokens, the token you send to a model and you have the full control of it. The output token, the token that tokens that model gives you, you kind of in control too, because you set up the output schema, right? Some hidden internal reasoning tokens, you have to pay for those. And tool tokens, token that you spend for each function call. It's kind of in your control too, but because eventually calling is up to you. So that's it for the like API docs and stuff. Let's look at the actual solution and let's see how we did it wrong the first time. This is our first version, like the obvious one. We get the prompt, we get the menu from our app in JSON, and give all of it to the Gemini model and expect to get a drink. But no, Gemini says, oops, I cannot do this. 2 million tokens, and this is how you literally can see it in your logcat, in your logs, 2 million something tokens. And let me explain you what does it mean, 2 million. This is we are. This is the whole DevFest' Izmir. We are sitting here. And this is the Gemini context window of 1 million tokens, the biggest in the solar system. You can put almost everything there, right? And this is our menu, so it's not going to work. We need to find another solution. So to move forward, we need to fight for tokens. We need to shrink our context, and maybe some of you already think about these words like rec, embeddings, but hold on, I will get to it later. The first obvious step is just filter out all unnecessary data. I call it just filter. Let's filter out all links, images, videos, all the things you don't need. And voila, it worked for us at the moment, and we spent for each scenario 200,000 tokens. Well, it's a pretty big number, but it works right now, and I can put it on the graph. As you can see, the scale is not linear, it is on purpose. But we go from 2 million to 20K, it's already good. And now we can check the latency. At this point, we have a latency about a minute and a half. It's good for demo, for presentation, but no one actually waits that long for a coffee. So we have our context. Our context contains only necessary information right now, but it is still too big. So we looked into this context deeply and see what's going on there. There are products, ingredients for drinks, and rules of customization. This is the real villain. This is like, it takes the most part of the context. So we decided what? We decided this trade-off, to make this trade-off. Let's extract all the knowledge of rules customization back to app, okay? Because we can write code in Kotlin, and it's good for precise logic, and the model good at generative stuff. So let's keep both of them in their own lanes. And right now we have the architecture looks like this. We shrink the menu before working with Gemini. Gemini gets this tiny menu without all the rules, get us some results with mistakes, and then we fix it using our rules and get the final result. Okay. The quality is pretty good because it's, well, it's not like lawyer stuff or medical, it's making coffee, okay? And we have 100K tokens per scenario right now. Well, it's good, it's the right direction, it's a step forward, but 100 tokens is not that small number. Also, latency goes down, it's it's under 1 minute, also good. But we come to the most interesting part, agent awakeness. 100K tokens we are using right now, it's still too many. Well, it's good comparing to the 2 million we start with, right? But it's still it's too expensive. It doesn't scale for real production cases. And the worst case, the worst scenario, you spend 100K tokens, you need it or not. For example, if you say I'd like the lactose-free cappuccino, the model thinks and spend 100K tokens. If you say what's the weather today, the model thinks and spend again about 100K tokens. Not exact number, but the similar. So we need a smarter AI. The AI could make a difference between when to spend extra tokens, when not, and going step by step. We need a thinking AI. And when we say thinking AI, what we think about usually agents. We all love agents, right? I love agents. So we need some kind of agentic AI in our app, and what kind of agentic AI we have nowadays. This is kind of 3 types: sequential agent, aka React loop, and more advanced like graph agent, multi-agent system. We want to start with a simple one. We think that the sequential agents is a good fit for us. And it usually looks like this. The model thinks, it tries to figure out if it needs more information, call the tool, run the tool, get the result, thinks again, reason again if it needs more information, and if not, finish the job and get the result. So, agentic AI. I'm building mobile app using Firebase AI. How can I implement agentic AI? Maybe I should add another third-party solution or ADK or something. It's too complex. We can do it using functions and chat mode in Firebase AI because this provides us well, actual possibility to do this. So it works like this. We initialize everything, model, config, tools, and then the model can, and when we send the prompt, the model can call it tool number 1, get the response, call on tool number 2, get the response, and then get the result. Super cool. For example, I want a sweet coffee with the New Year mood, and the model says, give me all coffee drinks, get a response. Then give me the customization for this specific 1, 2, 3 drinks, get a response. And then, voila, get a result for us. And for our case, which functions can we create? We decide to decompose the menu because it's too big. And right now we have like, get me all the drinks, like basic info, get the ingredients for specific drinks based on ID, and the same for the food. And we put it in the center, in the heart of our architecture right now. We work with the like menu, put it in some kind of repository, and then model communicate with this data, with our menu through a agentic loop, and then get us the result, and we build a real product. Let's look at the code. Again, it's Kotlin code, but it's the same for the other platforms. First, we introduce the abstraction, because this is what we do as software engineers. We always introduce abstraction as a first step. Well, because we wanted to keep bundled declaration and implementation for each function, for each tool. Then describe each function, like name, description, etc. And if we need input parameters, we can do it like this. Then we do actual domain logic. This is where you go to your repositories, use cases, services, and stuff, and do actual your domain logic. Then register all of them in your model. And this is the actual agent loop. Well, it's very simplified, but this is actual agent loop. Look, while loop. I'm not joking, it's a loop. So first, we check if the model requests some function call. If yes, then we pick the right call, pick the right function, execute it, get the response of the function, then send this result as a content type function into the chat mode, Gemini chat mode again, and new response, again check if there are any new requests for a function, and then it goes in a loop again and again. And this is simplified version. First, you need to add some threshold and not to go in infinite loop, right? Then you need to count tokens after each call or function. You need to count how many tokens you spent. And again, if you want to end the loop earlier, or any other logic, for example, you want to execute specific function just once, or etc. But this is actual agent loop we implement in our code. And after we did that, the result was still pretty good, and we spent about 15-20K tokens. This is my favorite slide, going from 2 million to 20K tokens per scenario. And the latency also goes down to 10-20 seconds. It's pretty good for us. We were really happy. I was really happy when we did this. One more thing, the whole talk, I told you that we need to send to the model the data, the only data it needs, but not just only data it needs, but needs to reason. And we have a bunch of different kind of types, data types. For example, UIDs. What are UIDs? UIDs, it's long, ugly strings, right? Do LLM needs those? No, because, well, they cost about like 24 tokens instead of 1 token in integer. And, well, hey, show me the real example. This is our real example, right? This is a real object we have a lot in our context. We're saving 25% if we replace all the UIDs. Or another real project, real object, we're saving here 51% of the tokens, right? So after we replace all the UIDs with just integers, we save more 30% of tokens, and result about 10K of tokens, because we software engineers need UIDs. We need to communicate with the backend, we need to make orders and stuff, but the models do not need tokens to reason, right? It just needs to communicate with us. And for us, and for this kind of features task, Just simple integers is absolutely okay. And the final destination right here, 10K. Right now we're having per scenario, it's a good number for us, and the latency is still on the pretty same level, but well, it's okay. Now it depends mostly on how many function calls it did. And final design, after we implemented this kind of mapping of these objects like UIDs, before and after working with the model, this is the final architecture. And again, this is this whole architecture inside mobile app. It's not like a client-server architecture or something. This is whole inside mobile app, Android, iOS, Flutter, whatever. So let's look at the demo, right? We have a live demo. I hope everything goes smooth. You know how it happens sometimes. I hope nothing strange happens. And when we start our feature, first we initialize the Firebase AI with all tools and all stuff. Oops, I guess we flipped into upside down right now. Sorry. Wrong button. It's a production code. This is our feature. Let's try it out. It is December already. I want something New Year's vibe. And it is super important when you work with AI, you do an UI with some magic. You want to do some animations, floating, gradients, floating, I don't know, animated stars or something, because it is boring stuff for us to doing like counting tokens, but it's a magic for users to interact with AI. Let's see what it gets for us. Gingerbread latte, gingerbread cocoa, and holiday filter coffee. It's good. I think it's pretty much a New Year's vibe. It works. Great. So let's go back. And the final step, if you ever been to at least one talk about AI this year, you might wonder why I don't say these words like RAG, embeddings, vector DBs and stuff, right? So let's see what RAG is good for. RAG is amazing for the right job, for working with unstructured, fuzzy, bunch of text, documentation, reviews. The tools, as our choice, is good at working with structured data, with deterministic API, with strict rules, with precise logic. And for our solution, like the core of our solution is tools, because tools solve our like 90% of our problems right now. And RAG is not off the table if say we add user reviews, thousands of reviews for our app, you bet we use RAG. But right now it's like optional improvement that we have. So let's sum up what we have from the product perspective. The Firebase AI helps us to test fast, and I'm talking about days. Well, I mean, well, two weeks. Well, it's pretty fast for mobile development and shipping, and the product managers were so happy. And the conversion was pretty good because, the feature is still pretty young. We still do A/B testing, tuning things. But right now we have numbers like people who try to communicate with the AI ended up with order actually AI product, like 4% of them ended up with ordering actual product. And also they have this wow effect because users like to play with the AI, say some funny things, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is kind of wow effect also. And from engineering perspective, again, test fast is super cool because we are engineers also love to ship fast. We don't like to work really long on some features. And two really important things I want to mention and I want to recommend you if you do similar features and similar stuff in your mobile app, track tokens from the day one, track and save tokens as much as possible because, well, it's mobile app, it has its adoption in the stores, and agentic approach that we did. It was a game changer for us. Please try it if you haven't yet. Inside the mobile app, you can do different stuff. You can try different functions. You can try decompose it in different ways. And I'm sure you can be amazed how you can save some tokens. So remember me from the beginning, frustrating about ordering cappuccino. This is me right now. 10, 20 seconds and 12 modifier caffeine monstrosity is mine. Thank you. My name is Max. You can find me after the talk if you want to talk about Android, AI, coffee or pizza. You can catch up me. This is the link for my profile. You can also communicate. Thank you.